In any heavy industry, whether it's mining or manufacturing, the weighbridge is so much more than just a giant scale. Think of it as the cash register. Yeah, it's the one critical control point for every single gram of material that comes into or leaves your facility. But what happens when that cash register has a blind spot? What if it starts leaking? And we're not talking about a small leak here. Look at this number, 108 crore rupees annually. For a large operation, this isn't some hypothetical number on a spreadsheet. No, this is a very real financial hemorrhage, silently draining profits right from the company's front door. The stakes? They really couldn't be any higher. So how on earth does a 9-figure loss even happen? Well, it doesn't happen all at once. It's much sneakier than that. It starts right here, with a tiny, almost unnoticeable difference of just 150 kilograms on a 35-ton truck. I mean, it seems like a rounding error, doesn't it? But then you multiply that by hundreds of trucks day in and day out, and that little drip suddenly becomes a massive flood. All right, so how exactly does a 100 crore leak happen? Well, it's not one single catastrophic failure. Instead, it's a series of small, often overlooked cracks in the system. These are vulnerabilities that can be exploited, sometimes by accident and sometimes, well, completely by design. What's pretty amazing here is just the sheer variety of methods. You've got simple physical tricks like partial truck placement. That's literally just not putting the whole truck on the scale. Then, of course, there's data fraud like changing tickets or making manual entry changes. And it can get way more complex with organized stuff like operator collusion. We're exploiting those gaps between sites where the numbers just don't match up. Every single one of these is a potential backdoor for revenue to just vanish. So knowing how these losses happen is one thing. But I think the more important question, especially for anyone in operations, is why? Why do these vulnerabilities even exist in the first place? Especially in what we like to think of as modern, advanced industrial settings. And this right here is the question every leader should be asking themselves. It's not about finding one single person to blame, it's about identifying the weaknesses in the system itself. What are the blind spots in your operation that are creating the perfect environment for these problems to grow, completely unnoticed? And here are the usual suspects. See, these manipulations aren't just random acts of bad luck. They're symptoms of deeper systemic problems. Still using paper tickets? Well, that makes duplicating them incredibly easy. Have isolated systems at different plants? That means nobody can possibly spot reconciliation gaps. And without any kind of central monitoring, you're essentially flying blind, just waiting for an audit to tell you about a problem that started 6 months ago. But okay, here's the good news. The industry's leading companies, they're fighting back. They're not just accepting these losses as a cost of doing business, not at all. They are forging a digital shield, moving from a position of being vulnerable to one of being in complete control and having total integrity. And this slide just lays out that transformation perfectly. On the left, you see the old way, manual, fragmented, and based on paper. It's a system that basically runs on trust. On the right, you see the modern approach. It's digital, it's centralized, and it's all driven by data. Instead of just hoping for accuracy, you verify it in real time. This isn't just an upgrade, it's a fundamental shift from hoping for the best to ensuring the best. When you strip away all the technology and the complex processes, what does this whole thing really boil down to? Well, it comes back to a single, fundamental principle that is really the bedrock of heavy industry. This is the core truth. That 150-kilogram discrepancy we talked about, that isn't just an error margin. It's product. It's revenue. It's profit literally walking out the door. When your entire business is built on moving massive quantities of material, understanding and protecting the value of every single kilogram is everything. So, I'll just leave you with this final thought. As the next truck rolls off your weighbridge, ask yourself this. Are you absolutely certain you know the true value of what's on board? Or could there be hidden crores slipping away, 1 kilogram at a time?